A video with millions of views is telling you a splash of water on your patio drops any room in your house 15 degrees. It's free, it's from Japan, and it's wrong. The real number, the one actually measured in a published study, is a lot smaller and costs you nothing to do it right instead of wrong. Stick with me. I'll show you the real, measured number behind this trick and why it still genuinely works. Then exactly how to use it, so you get the actual effect instead of the viral one. Here's why this is worth your time. Every summer, the same videos about beating the heat for free go around, and most of them borrow one real fact and stretch it until it barely resembles the original. People try the trick exactly as shown, expecting their whole living room to drop 15 degrees. It doesn't happen because that's not what the actual research found. And when a real, useful technique doesn't deliver on an inflated promise, people write off the whole idea as nonsense. That's the actual cost here. A genuinely old, genuinely free, genuinely measured cooling method gets thrown out because a viral video oversold it. The honest version, the one that actually works, never gets a fair shot. There's a real dollar cost too, even if it's smaller than 15 degrees would suggest. A free technique that could take a small edge off the heat gets dismissed as fake. So the air conditioner runs harder than it needs to all summer, and that adds up on the electric bill. This technique is called uchimizu, and it's been used in Japan for centuries. It's real. It's backed by an actual peer-reviewed measurement, not just a viral claim. It just doesn't do what this summer's videos are telling you it does. So today, the real, measured number behind this trick, straight from the study that actually tested it, and exactly how to use it so it does something real for you. Uchimizu means, simply, sprinkling water. The practice traces back to Japan's Edo period, between 1603 and 1868. People would scatter water across the ground outside their homes and shops during the hottest parts of summer. The water itself was rarely wasted fresh tap water. Traditionally, it was rainwater collected in a barrel or bathwater that had already served its first purpose, scattered a second time to do one more job before it drained away. Old-timers in Japan didn't need a study to know when to do this. Timing mattered, and they figured it out by observation. Water thrown down in blazing direct sun evaporates almost instantly and barely cools anything. Water thrown down in shade, in the cooler morning or evening hours, sticks around long enough to actually pull heat out of the ground as it evaporates. It also did double duty. Scattering water kept dust down on unpaved streets, which mattered just as much in a lot of neighborhoods as the cooling itself. That's the actual tradition. A specific, timed, shaded practice for cooling the ground right around your home. Somewhere on the way to this summer's viral videos, cools the ground a little, done right became, drops any room 15 degrees, and nobody checked the difference. So let's go through exactly what was actually measured, and exactly how to use this so it does something real. Researchers at Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands did what the viral videos never bothered to do. They actually measured it with real temperature sensors, published in a peer-reviewed water research journal. Here's exactly what they found. Air temperature, measured at about 6.5 feet up, roughly head height, dropped by up to 1.5 degrees Celsius. That's about 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Right down near the ground itself, the effect was stronger, up to 6 degrees Celsius, close to 11 degrees Fahrenheit. Read that again. 2.5 degrees at head height. 11 degrees, at most, right at ground level, outdoors. Not 15 degrees. Not indoors, in a room. That's the real number, from the real study, and it's genuinely useful. It's just not what got clipped into a 30-second viral video. The mechanism itself is simple physics, and it's worth actually understanding. Water absorbs heat as it changes from liquid to vapor. Spread it across a hot surface, and as it evaporates, it pulls that heat out of the ground and the air sitting just above it. It's the exact same process your own body uses to cool down. Sweat evaporating off your skin pulls heat away with it, which is why a breeze feels so much colder on wet skin than dry skin. Uchimizu is that same trick, just applied to the ground outside your house instead of to you. The same research found the effect depends heavily on conditions. Shade produced the strongest cooling of anything they tested. And using more water mattered too. applying over 5 millimeters, roughly a fifth of an inch, produced close to double the near-ground cooling compared to just 1 millimeter. So here's how you actually get a real effect from this. Not by mopping your living room floor. Soak the ground, patio, or entrance right outside a window or door instead, in the shade. That gives the cooler air near the ground an actual chance to drift or get pulled inside. If nobody ever showed you the actual study behind a viral trick like this before, that's exactly why this channel exists. Subscribe if you want the next one. Timing matters exactly like it did centuries ago. Early morning or evening, never in direct blazing sun, since fast evaporation and full heat barely cools anything before the water's already gone. A garden hose, a bucket, or a watering can all work. There's no special tool required, and no cost beyond the water itself. That's exactly why this still qualifies as a genuinely free technique, even with the honest, smaller number attached to it. Pair it with a fan position to pull air in from that cooled patch outside, rather than just pushing room air around. You're moving that slightly cooler air where you actually want it, instead of hoping it drifts in on its own. The effect isn't permanent. Once the water fully evaporates, typically within 20 to 40 minutes, depending on heat and humidity, the cooling fades with it. Reapplying every hour or so during the hottest stretch of the day is how you actually sustain it. It also matters what you're sprinkling. Hard surfaces like concrete and asphalt hold and radiate heat hard, so they benefit the most from this. Grass and soil are already cooler and evaporate more slowly on their own. This is actually the same basic idea behind the broader urban heat island problem cities deal with. Concrete and asphalt soak up heat all day and radiate it back out for hours after the sun goes down. A driveway or a stretch of sidewalk right outside your door does exactly that to you every summer evening. That's exactly the kind of surface this technique works best on. So that's the real version. A real, measured, few-degree effect, right at ground level, in the shade, reapplied through the hottest part of the day. Small, honest, and still genuinely worth doing for free. Just not a 15-degree miracle for your whole living room. Let's cover what you're probably wondering. I don't have a yard. Can I still do this from an apartment balcony? Yes. A concrete balcony floor holds heat exactly the same way a patio does. Wetting it in the shade during a cooler part of the day works on the same principle, just at a smaller scale. How many times a day do I actually need to do this? On a genuinely hot day, expect to reapply roughly every hour once the water's fully evaporated. It's a maintained effect, not a one-time fix that lasts all day. Does this work as well somewhere humid, not just dry heat? Less well, and that's worth being honest about. Evaporation slows down as humidity rises, since the air is already holding more moisture, so the cooling effect is weaker in a humid climate than a dry one. Can this actually replace air conditioning? No, and nobody measuring this seriously claims that. It's a real, free supplement that can take a small edge off the heat right around your home. Genuinely useful. Not a replacement for mechanical cooling on a dangerously hot day. Is it safe to do this around plants and garden beds? Generally, yes. Plain water isn't harmful to plants, though reused bathwater should be free of heavy soaps or cleaning chemicals if it's going anywhere near something you're growing to eat. Will this actually show up on my electric bill? It can indirectly. Maybe you run a fan instead of the air conditioner for part of the evening. Maybe you set the thermostat a degree higher and don't notice, since the air coming in is genuinely a little cooler. It's a small effect, not a dramatic one, and it adds up more over a whole summer than in any single evening. Do I actually need to use rainwater or bath water, or is tap water fine? Tap water works exactly the same physically. Reused water is a tradition rooted in not wasting anything twice, not a requirement for the cooling effect itself. Use whatever water you have available. What's actually the best specific time to do this? Early morning before the sun is high, or evening after direct sun has left the area, are both genuinely better than midday. Shade matters more than the exact clock time, so a shaded spot at noon can still work reasonably well. Why would a video just make up a number like 15 degrees? Most likely it's not one deliberate lie. It's a real effect, compressed and dramatized for a 30-second clip. Several nearly identical versions of this exact video exist across different small channels right now. That's consistent with a claim getting copied and exaggerated a little further each time. Not one person checking the actual study and reporting it straight. Let's talk about how this fits your specific situation. If you're in an apartment, focus on whatever hard, shaded surface sits closest to a window you actually keep open. That's the air with the best chance of actually reaching you. If you've got a patio or porch right outside a frequently used room, that's genuinely the highest value spot to target. It's both a hard surface and close to where you actually spend time. If you or someone in your household is especially heat sensitive, treat this as a genuine supplement to real cooling. A fan, shade, and staying hydrated still come first. This isn't a primary safety plan on a dangerously hot day. If you're in a dry climate, this technique works closer to its best measured potential, since evaporation happens efficiently in low humidity. If you're somewhere humid, keep expectations modest and lean harder on shade and timing specifically, since humidity is already working against the evaporation this depends on. If part of your yard or patio sits in shade for most of the day, that's genuinely your best spot for this, regardless of which direction it faces. The study's own strongest results came from the shade conditions specifically, ahead of every other variable tested. If you live in an RV or camper, wetting the ground or a mat right outside your door before opening a window works on the exact same principle. It's one of the few free cooling tricks that actually applies to a mobile setup. If you rent and don't have outdoor access at all, a small tray or shallow dish of water near an open window works on the same evaporative principle. It's a smaller scale, but the physics is identical. If you're trying to cut a cooling bill without spending anything, pair this with a correctly positioned fan and keeping direct sun off your windows during the hottest hours. Together, that adds up to more real relief than this technique alone. If you've got kids around, this is a genuinely good hands-on way to show real evaporative cooling happening. It's also a good moment to talk about how a viral number can drift pretty far from what an actual study measured. So here's what actually matters, if you remember nothing else. The real, measured effect of sprinkling water outdoors is up to 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit at head height, and up to 11 degrees right near the ground, not 15 degrees in your living room. Real research measured it. The viral number didn't come from that research. And the technique still works, done the traditional way, shade, morning or evening, reapplied as it dries. Ideally with a fan pulling that slightly cooler air right where you actually want it. Next hot day, wet the shaded ground outside your most used window, reapply roughly hourly, and position a fan to pull that air in rather than just stirring your room around. That's the old way. Still works. Just not the way this summer's videos are telling you it does. If you want more of these, the honest version behind whatever's going viral, subscribe. And if this saved you from expecting a miracle that was never coming, a like helps it reach the next person about to try it wrong. Tell me in the comments. Had you already seen the 15-degree version of this before today? I want to know how far this one actually traveled.